This time on Hazell Nutz. After cutting out the floor, they encounter a massive problem.
Nick, it's not going to fit.
What do you mean it's not going to fit? So you're telling me we just chucked 12 grand down the toilet?
Welcome back to the channel, but today we have no idea.
No idea what we're doing. The idea behind it is that we're going to cut as much as we can out of the van so that we can try and get it to sit over the Tesla.
And we're going to rip all the interior out of this thing, get the floor out of it.
Take the doors off to make it lighter.
Take the doors off, and then we literally got to cut the entire front and rear end out, all these chassis rails, all this stuff. And then we've got to work out how we're actually going to lift this over the Tesla body.
That's where the problem comes, because once we've cut everything at the bottom of it, how the hell do we lift it?
I don't know. It's going to be an interesting episode, but hopefully by the end of this episode, we might, just might, sort of have the van going over the Tesla.
What we need is fairy dust.
At this point in time, the guys had no idea how wrong they were.
Float onto the top.
Anyway, let's go.
It was now time to get started. Doors were removed first. Simply 2 bolts and unplug the electrics, and they then just lift off. It looks so easy. Next was ripping out the floors to remove parts that they might set on fire later.
Such a twat.
So we decided to peel off all the soundproofing and the carpet from the sections we're going to cut because we don't have a fire extinguisher and the chance are it'll set on fire. The plan now is we've got to cut out this whole section of floor here, up over the arches following this line is the plan. We're hoping this Tesla struts should fit inside this edge on the back of the vehicle, according to Carl's CAD. Hey, Carl?
Yeah, that's up for me.
Instead of doing things the correct way, Nick decided he knew best and decided to just cut everything off. If you need a ramp, check out Garage Equipment online.
So the plan is I'm going to put some cuts up through here now. So we keep this piece.
Yep.
Which gives us a nice piece there, which keeps all the tow bar in place. And then all this goes.
Yeah.
But from what we were just saying, you reckon this piece can stay in place?
So the main bar can stay in, but all the brackets need to go.
Okay.
Similarly with the triangulations in the sides.
So those have got to come out. This bar can stay there.
Yeah.
All the way down. We just need to work out where we cut here because we've got to have the dashboard bit go up through, haven't we?
Yeah.
So the only reason we've actually got to cut this back is to allow for the HVAC dash area to go up through here, which we can measure up in a minute and then work out where. Chances are we keep this one.
Yeah, I think so.
And we cut this section
Everything out.
Everything else out. And this then should sit on this piece.
Yeah.
Of the Tesla is the hope. Okay. Cut your time. I don't think this is going to fit because this sliding door mechanism goes right into the side of there. Nick!
What?
I don't think it's going to fit because the sliding door.
What do you mean it's not going to fit? We literally just cut a bit of floor out.
Yeah, I know.
So you're saying 12 grand?
12 grand?
Well, 6 grand wrecker of a car. The van probably could have got 5, 6 grand for.
Maybe.
At a push.
Well, that's cut out.
What do you do about that? That's
Well-
really helpful.
Is it?
And now it doesn't fit. We can't do what we actually wanted to do.
We could do what we did in the Skyline.
We could do it the normal way.
Sort of normal way. Yeah, and just put a substructure in and put a battery pack underneath.
And control it with AEM.
And control it with AEM, and we could do a really stupid motor in the front.
And we can do burnouts.
Yeah, that was going to be the big issue. And then this is going to have to become something else.
Like what?
Well, they'll have to wait and find out.
Okay. Can I find out at some point?
Maybe.
Great. So one of your stupid ideas is just poof, gone.
Yeah, it really has.
I knew it was a stupid idea. Oh, we got a piece of van floor, a van with a hole in it, and a whatever that is now.
We don't know if that works.
No, exactly. Jesus.
Let's rethink and come up with something then.
Don't.
Carl has been really busy, hasn't he, Nick?
He has been very busy.
He's done loads of CAD stuff, which is on screen right now, and he's basically made lots of flat panels.
That's not flat.
Well, with bends in, instead of doing box section. Isn't that right, Carl? And basically, we're going to cut some more stuff out of here, tack all this together now, and drop it in. And we're going to hopefully test fit that Tesla subframe.
Hopefully. But there's definitely more cutting to do first. But we'll get to tacking this together.
Let's see your welding skills, shall we? Then we'll see if Carl's CAD models and his 3D scan actually all line up.
We'll test the theory of fits in CAD.
Yes.
Right, let's rewind. So the van would not fit over the Tesla chassis, the guys decided they would mount a complete Tesla rear end into the van with a custom chassis frame.
Peeking at me?
While the guys tack the frame together, Carl is marking and cutting the slots for it to drop into place. This approach was taken by Chris on his electric R32 Skyline 8 years ago, where it all started.
How is that basically 95? It's 6 mil less.
All right, it's 94.5 then. And this is what?
Clearly, maths was not their strong point at school.
105.5.
Yes.
So
5.3 either side.
So 53 mil either side. Carl said 60 mil. He was telling fibs.
Now, everything has been tack welded together. You can see it starting to take shape. The parts are designed to sit inside the original chassis rails, so they slot into place, allowing for exact location before using an engineering square to make sure it's all lined up before Chris welds them to each other, making up the complete frame.
You've seen us lift this out. We've obviously welded it all together. And Carl's made up these bits, which you had fun doing, didn't you?
I did, yeah, good fun.
With the grinder for a couple of hours.
Yeah, it's only a couple of mistakes, so not too bad.
So our plan now is we're going to weld the pucks onto the bottom of these, bolt them to the subframe, then position this correctly, and then we're going to basically get the whole subframe welded together before putting it in the van. But we need to order the counterlever suspension stuff next, don't we?
Yep.
And then at least we can hopefully get this in the van, and we're hoping we can tweak it a little bit before we weld it into the van to make sure we're not crabbing down the road when we drive. That's going to be the difficult bit. Anyway, I'm going to start getting this welded up now.
Clearly, when Chris says we, he means Nick. Now that's a lot of welding. They are now getting the subframe mounts in place and must make sure it is all square or the vehicle will crab down the road once finished.
So we've got this now in place and Nick is getting some tacks in. Whether we're actually going to get this perfect, I don't think we're really sure. Also, welding in the shorts and a t-shirt isn't really ideal, is it, Nicholas?
No. Look at that. Little hot rock.
So we've got that lined up there.
Yeah.
And now we're going to try and tweak all of it based on the drawings to get it dead right. And hope we're not crabbing down the road.
Send it sideways anyway. Be fine. Just hold it like that. I'll just tack it there. That's on the box, so.
You're happy it's lined up along the front of there?
By eye, yeah.
By eye.
Well, that's a new one to me. It will be square by eye. Not sure what tolerance that is equivalent to.
Car L has done loads of cleanup work.
Yeah. Loads of cleanup work. Now I'm going to have to weld all the floors together.
You really are. So the plan is we're going to put some holes in, and then we're going to use the grinder and we're going to cut slits behind them so you've got like narrow oblongs.
Going to need some channels to
weld into to try and tie the two together, and then obviously do around the top as well.
And around this edge, yeah.
Yeah. Happy with that? Think it'll be strong enough?
Yeah, I think it'll be strong enough. Because obviously we're dropping it in from the top, so we're not putting it in the bottom. It's not going to fall out the bottom, which is where obviously the weight's trying to hang. It should be all right.
And with 3 mil thick, whereas this is definitely not 3 mil.
Well, it's 2 pieces of 2 mil, I think, clamped together.
Yeah, this is odd.
We'll tack it all together, weld it in, then We'll all stand on it and see how strong it is.
We've seen this.
I don't.
Carl made us shorten it by 5 mil each side.
As the van won't fit over the Model S skateboard chassis, and we've had to go this other way of putting just the subframe in and running the motors using AEM control, this frame has been designed here to fit in between the chassis legs of the van. So we've cleaned it up. Carl's taken off all the rough edges, cleaned it up because we need to tack the floor back together because the floor is 2 pieces of steel. So we'll tack that edge back together. Then we're going to put the frame in and get the frame welded in. That's going to link the front and rear of the van back together, and also going to carry the subframe for the Tesla large drive unit.
Yeah, it needs to come back loads.
Just wants to be there, doesn't it?
Now, having been hammered into place, Nick uses large clamps to hold it into position, so it cannot move as he welds, and welds some more. Moment of truth. Will the subframe fit?
We've now just fitted the subframe into the van. We're just testing it, that's why it's not bolted up fully before you start shouting in your comments that we haven't actually put it in properly. We just wanted to test it and make sure that all the bolt holes lined up into the frame because we've welded it into the body now, well, the top side into the body. We wanted to make sure nothing's gone out and that it is definitely still going to fit before we've completely welded it in, then found out we've cocked up, and then there's nothing we can really do about it. So it fits, so we can get it out, we can crack on, carry on welding this in. Good job this is light. There's a hole there somewhere.
So we started this episode thinking this was going to fit over that Tesla.
Yeah, stupid idea.
Which is a stupid idea. And we've got to the end of the episode with...
A stupider idea.
Yeah, but this is lovely. I know you didn't like welding up, but Carl's actually done a good job.
Fits in CAD.
And it fits in the van.
It did fit in the van.
And it's stronger than what was there. We have our motor. We need to get our new subframe and stuff from the EV breakers to go in this. And then the back end's done, and we need to move on to the front end on the next episode.
Yeah, well, we want to put another one of these.
Yeah, and we'll have a Model 3 battery, which won't quite give full power, but it will try.
Yeah.
So not the worst episode in the world. We've gone round in circles, but we've actually ended on a sort of high.
I think this really proves that it's not always cupcakes and rainbows, even on YouTube.
Cupcakes and rainbows.
Shit still goes wrong.
It does.
And we probably could have made it work. We'd lost the door. And just back to reality, this is the way we should have done it in the first place.
But if you look at the Tesla right there, there is something on the corner of it which shows a hint of where we are going to be going.
A glimpse of its future.
On a complete and utter different build series later.
Yes, totally different. Let's get one finished first.
Yes. So please like and subscribe, give us that thumbs up, and come back for the next episode where we're going to get a big motor in the front.
Hope to get a big motor in the front, but
it'll fit. Transporter HQ have done it. It will definitely fit.
It'll definitely fit.
And we might finish ours before they finish theirs.
Definitely. Yes. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.